The next session will be chaired by Dr. Rajesh, St. Alphonsus College of Arts and Science.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening for inviting me and to be as a chair of the session. And I would like to call. I'd like to congratulate and all the participants. Not participants, the presenters here who are about to present their papers from different aspects. I hope we have four presenters in this technical presentation. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
We have four
yes,
presenters,
four
right?
presenters. And the first one is Dr. Divya P., High Secondary Education Department, Kerala. And the second one is Ekta Chahal, Research Scholar of Haryana. And the third one is Priya Muthan, Research Scholar, Tiruvallur University. And the fourth one is Nayana NV, Research Scholar, Muslim Arts College.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the information. And we have first Dr. Divya P., Head Secondary Education Department
Yes,
of Kerala, the Education Department, Kerala. And
yes, sir. Good
ma'am,
afternoon.
Dr. Yeah, ma'am, Dr. Divya will be presenting a paper on diasporic reading of Bharati Mukherjee's Jasmine. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, sir. The title of my
Yes, ma'am.
paper is Cultural Angst in Bharati Mukherjee's Jasmine.
Cultural and
So,
I
yes,
didn't
sir.
get your topic
Bharati is
exactly.
based on the novel Bharati Mukherjee's Jasmine, sir. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. It's cultural and diasporic reading.
Diasporic reading.
Oh, okay, okay, fine, ma'am. You can go ahead. The platform is yours.
Yes. So
Okay.
diasporic literature involves an idea of homeland, a place from where the displacement occurs due to economic convulsions. Basically, it is true to say that diaspora is a minority community living in exile. So the term diaspora, the term, it is derived from Greek language, which means to disperse, or so the word suggests the scattered seeds, and by extension, to dispersed community. In diasporic literature, this expatriate writing is always interrelated between the aspects of two cultures and two countries. It constructs a new identity that negotiates boundaries and relates to different temporal and spatial metaphors. Culture travels along with individuals who feel nostalgia or experience of amnesia. The writers abroad live on the margins of two societies. As an immigrant fiction, Bharati Mukherjee's novel Jasmine has abundant features of cultural perspective. The novel focuses on the themes of migration and settlement, the travel from India to United States, series of self-transformations, violent disruptions are all Americanized Jasmine. Through the movement from east west and the last destination from middle west, she realizes unfettered American selfhood. All these changes that came into her life are due to the influence of multiculturalism, and here the crucial theme is individual will versus fate. The individual skill stands for her possibilities of self creation and Americanization, and the fate implies her own tradition, ethnicity, immigration, and so on. The novel draws Jasmine's spectacular journey from Hasnapur, an Indian village, to Northern California, along with the various characters. In this novel, Jasmine moves westward from the east coast of United States, only to escape from her past and to reinvent new opportunities of life. Jasmine, as Jodi, tells the story of a poor girl who lived near Hasnapur village. Her life was always restricted under the strict rules of gender and poverty, and the poverty-stricken Jodi marries Prakash, who takes her to a nearby village, Julandham. Before he realizes his dream to study at American University, he is killed in a terrorist attack. As a widow, Jasmine decides to commit suicide uh, or sati by jumping into the funeral pyre of her husband. She wants to do it not in India but at Florida University campus where Prakash had intended to join. So, with all fake travel documents, she lands illegally in Florida. But fate plays a crucial role upon her as she is brutally raped by an American, namely Half-Face. This violence changes the nature of the protagonist and provokes an extraordinary transformation in her life. and she stabs this man half-face to death by becoming Kali, the Hindu goddess of revenge. Later, she becomes Jassy under the hands of Lillian Godson, but when the marriage of Taylor and Willie, an American couple in Manhattan, collapses, she predictably becomes Taylor's wife as Chase. Although she had only a middle school education, she gets a teaching post in her native language at Columbia University. But on seeing her husband's killer at work, Jasmine flees to Iowa for her own safety. Later, after getting a job in a bank, Jasmine becomes the wife of a banker as Jane. At the end of the novel, Taylor urges her to go with him to California to start a new life. She accepts the invitation and runs away with Taylor. So this particular novel, Jasmine, is the Americanization of a village girl. It represents that Americanization of a village girl who has the capacity uh, to live the many lives of reincarnation. The fiction has an integral link with the Jasmine's assimilation of American culture. As all other Indian immigrant writers, Bharati Mukherjee has placed the changing cultural landscape of the nation. A diasporic text starts from a position of arrival, provisional, and therefore hybridity and problems of otherness. Migrants produce a self with a multiple and partial identification. So Mukherjee's writings focus on multiple dislocations of personal biography and cultural identity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your presentation, and you have come ahead with Bharati Mukherjee's Jasmine,
Yes,
Life of
sir.
a Poor Girl, and most probably the particular points you have discussed, like diasporic, which includes multiculturalism,
Yes.
individuality, and also
Identity
you have said,
crisis. Yes.
yeah, identity crisis, and you have come up with the focus of the last part. She's adoption of what to say, different culture. That
Yes.
is what we most of the people lack today.
Yes.
And most of the even when there's certain things when it comes to a life, where most probably the brides, they don't what is it, most sometimes they don't adapt towards even towards the next culture, that means the husband's home. We
Yes,
are in
sir.
such a situation where this girl, Bharati Mukherjee, has come ahead with telling us that she has adapted a new culture. That means new culture, tradition, even a new life to be said. It's uh, it's just, how to say, just opposite to what we have. She has practiced.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, okay, fine, ma'am. And
Actually, she is adjusting with the culture because she is a widow, and even in the alien land, she is adjusting with that American culture, and she don't want to return back here because she is a widow and she does not like to follow this widowhood in India.
oh, so you that means the problem actually when it comes to diasporic writing, they focus the
Yes,
problems actually about the culture and what the difference of opinion of them. And
yes, sir.
actually here, because of Sati, she has what to say, she has moved to like America.
Yes,
The problems what we
yes. After the death of her husband. Yes,
yeah, the problems you deal here is, so to say, Sati, and other thing, financial problem. She's a poor woman, right, ma'am?
pardon, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
The problem she faces. The problem she faces is like, what is it? She's worried about Sati. Am I audible?
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
ma'am. Yeah, Sati and
She
that.
decides to commit sati. She decides to commit sati.
Oh,
But what
desire.
happened to her? Yes.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay, fine. Anyway, thank you, ma'am. And now I move towards the audience.
Thank you.
Audience, you can show one, ma'am. Audience, you can. Do you have any questions on this? Audience. Oh, anyway, all are satisfied with your answers, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for future endeavors. Okay. Next, we have the second participant.
The next presenter is J. Divya, research. Sorry. Ekta Chahal.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah,
Good afternoon, ma'am. Am I audible to everyone?
yes, ma'am.
Just give me 1 second to share my screen.
Okay. Are you ready?
Just one second. Just a moment. Actually, I'm not able to find the option of screen sharing. Screen sharing. Hello.
Ma'am, if you're not able to present your screen, you please present orally.
Okay. But I have prepared my presentation, but I am not able to find the option of screen sharing. Firstly, a very warm welcome to all of you at this virtual conference on postcolonial studies. The topic of my presentation is treatment of Gandhian ideology in a time to be happy. There are people who do their best to make this world better. Mahatma Gandhi is one of the most glorious people who played a great role in the history of India and the history of entire humanity. Of course, Gandhi witnessed the hardships of his people since his early years. There is hardly any area in the pre or post independence era that he had left untrammeled for the sake of Indian development and independence. He is such a a socio-political figure who is barely impossible for someone to forget or ignore. He has influenced every aspect of human consciousness, and there is hardly any discipline that he has left uncommented. He is an immense source of writing himself and has influenced different disciplines and many writers from different fields like history, politics, philosophy, literature, sociology, and so on, have him as their central themes. So Gandhiji insisted on high thinking and simple living, which was also reflected and highlighted by the literary English authors of the time, mainly Raja Rao, Mulkraj Anand, R.K. Narayana, particularly Nayanthara Sehgal. Nayanthara Sehgal is a brilliant and dedicated novelist who has collectively used Indian experience and described its several nuances in her fictional works. The fact that she was born in 1927 in Allahabad and she is the daughter of Vijayalakshmi Pandit and Ranjit Sitaram Pandit shows that she imbibed fully the socio-cultural and socio-political atmosphere of Gandhi's India. When she was born, India's struggle for freedom was at its height. And what happened in the field of politics and in the socio-cultural atmosphere made a profound impact on her highly sensitive mind. In her autobiographical work, Prison and Chocolate Cake, she herself points out that she grew up at a time when India was passing through a period of great political turmoil with her. The growth of political awareness was a gradual and unconscious process and the most important influence in our lives. As a child, she was touched by the spark of Gandhi, and this spark touched her lives in innumerable ways, small ways, and penetrated her consciousness gradually, so that as one grew, it became a living part of us. So I have chosen A Time to Be Happy, which is the first novel of Nayanthara Sehgal, to examine the treatment of Gandhian ideology in the same work. So firstly, Gandhian ideology. Gandhiji does not only believe in idealism, he is also believing in practical idealism. So these are the, which is showing on screen, these are the ideologies which staunchly Gandhijis follow. Truth and non-violence. Satyagraha. Satyagraha basically is the exercise of the purest soul force against all injustice, oppression, and exploitation. Next is Sarvodaya. Sarvodaya means universal uplift or progress for all. Next is Swaraj, freedom for the meanest. Yani ki means freedom for the minest even. Trusteeship. If you are capable to help one another, then why don't you proceed in that charity? Why don't you help each other? So the last one is Swadeshi. Swadeshi means one's own country, made from own country and used by own people. Gandhiji's belief, profound faith in the supremacy of the individual person. And Nayanthara Sehgal basically very much influenced by this concept of individuality, rejection of imperialism, self-sacrifice, compassion, and peace. We cannot achieve without sacrificing ourselves into that. One consciousness. So these are the Sehgal's famous works: Prison and Chocolate Cake, From Fear Set Free, A Time to Be Happy, This Time of Morning, Storm in Chandigarh. These all are novels very much showing us influence of Gandhian philosophy, Gandhian ideology. So here I have chosen a work, A Time to Be Happy, which is the first novel of Nayanthara Sehgal, published in 1958. So basically 3 or 4 main characters which I have taken, which shows the influence of Gandhian ideology from this novel. The narrator in A Time to Be Happy disappoints his father. He was not ready to taking up the family business because he is very much believe into the Gandhian philosophy, Gandhian ideology. So he also realizes that India does not require more Gandhis. He said that one like him is more than enough. And he also stated that freedom would be a reality when we had succeeded in wiping the tear from every eye. So we cannot be self-centered. We cannot be that much selfish. So he already gave up the family business. So this novel has a pre-independence context as part of its background. Gandhi loved villages for they were the places where India thrived. We already knew that Gandhiji very much have very much keen interest to work for the Harijans, to work for the lower caste, to work for the meanest. So, Sharanpur, which is a place in this novel which very much resembles a village, becomes the center of action. The narrator is very much determined to protect and preserve the rural culture influenced by Gandhiji. Sanat, which is also which is also can be identified as a main character in this novel, already shows that he very much impacted by the Western civilization, but as the novel continued and as he realized that his real identity is not to be a Western. His real identity is of being an Indian. That's why he says in his own words, "My body is in India, but my brain doesn't belong here. I might as well be an English except for the color of my skin." He lastly he knew that he very much very much introduced with the Gandhian ideology and Gandhian beliefs. So, having come under the influence of the independence movement, he tries to identify himself with his country by learning Hindi and spinning. He makes his choice clear when he determines to marry Kusum Sahai, which is his wife Kusum Sahai, totally opposite personality to Sanat. Sanat, which is very much influenced by the Western civilization, but Kusum has her root in India because she belongs to a nationalist family. But soon Sanad realizes that his real identity is to be an Indian, not to shield him with the Westernization. Maya Saigal's first movement, which we can find in other novels too, fulfillment in social work. She actively participates in the rehabilitation of refugees from Pakistan for real happiness. She tries to find self-realization within the bonds of marriage through social work. She yearns for individual self and finds pleasure in service, as Gandhiji always suggests, work for mankind. The narrator, Sanad, and Maya, these are the characters which staunchly follow Gandhian ideology both in theory and practice. He follows Gandhian principle of village development, while Sanad emancipates himself from the foreign influence and identifies himself with charkha or spinning wheel. Maya finds fulfillment in life by involving herself in social work. So these are the characters which really believe that Gandhian ideologies really need to be followed in that era, in pre-independence, in post-independence, and especially in this modern era. We really need to, recapitulate those principles and those ideas, those ideologies. So let's come to conclusion. My paper, this present paper, reveals the treatment of Gandhian ideology in Saigal's Attempt to Be Happy. Guarding freedom is a common sense, as freedom is not a gift, because it is an achievement which had already achieved by our forefathers, and Mahatma Gandhi is one of them. So we need to continue and preserve the tradition of freedom. So Saigal has consistently opposed any move to curb individual freedom, but supported all progressive legislations through the columns of various newspapers. There is a need to put concerted efforts to eliminate communalism and strengthen the heterogeneous society. In each of her novels, Saigal reveals herself as a social and political visionary most seriously, with all her positive heroes revealing shades of Gandhi in them. So I can say that Nayanthara Saigal very well and very transparently, very influentially, very cleanly very creamly, shows us that in modern era, in this modern times where we busy in our things, and we are becoming violent with our societal issues. So we really need to get back to those principles and to learn from Gandhiji's again. Thank you so much. That's all.
Okay, it's good. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, of course, sir.
Oh, it's good. It's good. I actually have compared the past and the present in its conclusion. That was good actually. When you have come up with the Gandhian thoughts and where now when it comes to the international research, they are going back to the Shakespeare. Such a
Yes,
way you have gone back towards or how to say to 1947 and
yes,
Gandhian thought where you have said that the individual freedom, where individual freedom is more essential in a busy world, whereas Wordsworth says that how to say when we are in a busy world, we are not thinking about our past, the
yes.
happy moments in life, and where you speak about individual freedom and the freedom and the liberty what we have here. Anyway, it's a good presentation and keep what to say make it in future too. I hope it's your research topic.
Yes, sir.
Oh, fine. It's a good topic, and you can move further with it. And now I turn back to the audience. Audience, do you have any questions on it, or do you like to get clarified with the points of Ekta or such something like that? Audience, I hope audience as it's evening. It's like 3:45 or 4. All the people are tired to have their cup of tea and to take rest as the climatical situation is not the weather is not supportive. And the areas the places where most of the people reside. Anyway, I as part of the audience, I come back towards you and I just when you stated that it is individual freedom and you have to go back to Gandhian thoughts and all those things. When we compare to the situation of Gandhian, how to say, before freedom and the present situation, is it same?
Not exactly, sir, because when Gandhiji fought for our freedom, it was the different scenario. But in present scenario, as I have read Nantara Saigal's column that she has given up her Sahitya Academy Award because of Dadri mom lynching, because she hasn't digested the violent which was against the person because of on a just to prove that we are living in a democracy, so we have right to do anything, or we can be violent at any time. So this is not the right way. As I have already stated that she believes in individual freedom, but with all with the followings of all laws and orders. So I think I really really feel need of little going back to that Gandhian principle to remind, to recapitulate those things, that we need to think calm and peacefully. We can't get rushed to things actually in present scenario. We want incident results. We want everything so quick. We want everything so done that right here right now. But this is not the way. Everything has a process. We should follow that very in a proper order and with the following instructions, and according to our constitution and law and order.
Okay, fine, fine. It's good. Actually, the thing I wanted to say is it's somewhat what to say same. That's what I wanted to point out. You have explained it in a different way. And anyway, the thing is, look, today the world is under corporates. We are running back of money. We are running back of something positions and everything. We have
Absolutely.
lost what Wordsworth said. Also, we have to go back to nature. We have lost happiness. We have freedom. We've lost everything. For even for an advertisement, we go back of it. You don't.
Actually, yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Actually, sir, Gandhiji is very common to all. We all know about them that he follows Satya, he follows truth, non-violence. But where we are following those principles, we only know them. We need to implement them.
Yeah, that's good. That implementation. That's the point. We have to focus. The modern people are not knowing that when to implement. We are educated, but we are not aware how to implement and where to implement.
Absolutely,
Anyway,
sir. Exactly, exactly.
anyway, it's a good presentation.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
thank
much,
you,
sir. Thank you
thank
so
you,
much, everyone, for listening to me. Thank you.
thank you.
I would
And
like
now
to
we
have a
have.
clarification. May I have a question to the speaker?
Yeah, sure, sure, sir, you can.
Yeah, ma'am. Gandhi's philosophy fall under truth. So to his philosophy, truth is God, and he also said, "End cannot justify the means." So based on these two philosophies of Gandhi, what is the real finding from your research you have in the presentation?
Sorry, sir, I'm not getting your question exactly. Can you
Ma'am,
please
Gandhi's
repeat it?
philosophy fall. Uh, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir, of course, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you are audible.
Gandhian philosophy falls mainly under truth. So his philosophy comes as truth is God,
Yes.
and the next philosophy is that the end cannot justify the means. So these are the two, concepts of Gandhi taken into research by scholars and intellects. And how do you interlink these two concepts in your study or in your research?
So the first one is Gandhiji stands for truth at any cost. So see, but uh, simultaneously, he said that if you are fighting for truth, just fight with the non-violence. Just go with the just very peacefully in order not in order to harm anyone, not in order to harm nation in other way unknowingly, that you are ready to protest or you are ready to stand for something, while simultaneously you are unknowingly harming other things, which we have seen in our country in past these times. So it's really not according to Gandhian philosophy.
Amal sir, Dr.
I,
Amal.
yep. Thank you, ma'am. You can proceed with the next person.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Amal, and thank you, Dr. Jocelyn. And now, thanks. And now we have the third
Thank
person, Priya Amudan, research scholar, Trivandrum University, Vellore. She'll be presenting a paper on association of transcendentalism and postcolonialism in Joseph Conrad's Under Western Eyes. I request Priya Amudan take the
Good
floor.
afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, good afternoon.
Sir, am I audible for everyone?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
1 minute, sir. Let me share my PPT.
Okay, fine.
Is the PPT is available now, sir?
Yeah, it's there.
Uh,
It's visible.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have chosen the topic Association of Transcendentalism and Postcolonialism in Joseph Conrad's Under Western Eyes. Um, I have chosen this top. I wish to choose this topic because I love theories basically. But at some point, I found some similarities between the theories transcendentalism and postcolonialism. So I wish to showcase those points in this novel Under Western Eyes by Joseph Conrad. And I begin this novel with a statement by Michael Foucault, where there is power, there is resistance. In our life in general, we have some authority in our life, whether either there be a good people or bad people, either of it. But they'll guide in our life. They'll guide in our life throughout. But at some point, our uniqueness will be hidden by them. At that point, we will exhibit our own resistance towards them. So this kind of resisting authority is found in these two theories in common. So I wish to exhibit this kind of resisting authority and also individualism in this novel Under Western Eyes by Joseph Conrad. Let me explain a short gist of definitions of these two theories. Postcolonialism and transcendentalism is a most familiar theories. We all know of it, but I do want to give a gist of it. Postcolonialism, it represents succeeding years of colonial rule. Beyond that, I emphasize that postcolonialism focuses on individualistic phenomenon. It focuses on individual seek of free thoughts in individual, whereas in transcendentalism it focuses on the inner soul of one thing. It insists that we have to follow nature, we have to follow we have to follow what we are, and also it insists that we have to praise our inner soul, the supreme thing or spiritual whatever may be but the supreme thing we should follow in our life. So these two theories, I think yeah, how the association occurs from these two theories. These are some common aspects I found in these two theories. First one is resisting authority. As I already told in the famous statement by Michael Foucault, the resistance and the power will happen in everyone's life. And the second one is human dignity. Human dignity is nothing but it is the value given for what humanism is. And the third one is modern individualism. We all know that individualistic aspect will be in the both post-colonialism and also in the transcendentalism. Inner soul is I already told that it will be present in both post-colonialism and transcendentalism. And these are some common aspects which associate these two theories. And Under Western Eyes by Joseph Conrad summary. Under Western Eyes is a literary historical fiction. In this novel, the novel focuses more on the character Razumov. He is the protagonist of this novel, and he is a parentless child who born in Russia. And he loves Russia as his own home, and he loves the Russian people surrounded him as his own family members. In the beginning of the novel, he found his co-friend named Haldin in his apartment after the assassination of a minister in Russian government. And the one who assassinated the minister of Russian government is nothing but the Haldin. After knowing this, Razumov can't digest this, that his friend assassinated a minister. So and Haldin asked the help to find his crime partner in order to escape from this apartment to Razumov, but he reluctantly agrees to help him. He doesn't voluntarily help him. He reluctantly agrees to help him. Inside Razumov, there were many mental conflicts is going, whether we have to do this or whether it is right or wrong to help Haldin. there were many mental trauma happening inside Rasamov, and beyond the mental conflicts, he helps the Haldin to find his crime partner. But after some time, he surrendered Haldin by betraying him to the police department that his crime that the assassinator that the Haldin is in his apartment, and the police arrested Haldin and hang over to death. At this point, the police also arrested Rasamov and put him in jail, and told him about the death of Haldin. And Rasamov feels so guilty that we became the reason for one soul's death, like that. But the police department arrested him and surveyed the apartment of Rasamov and find him that he doesn't involve in crime, and changed Rasamov as a spy for the Russian government. And he insisted Rasamov to report the events and report the plans that the revolutionaries create against the Russian government in Geneva, and send Rasamov to Geneva. There he becomes the spy for the Russian government and proceeds his life. And in Geneva, he met revolutionists and also a main person in his life named Natalia, Haldin's sister. The Haldin is the one who hung over to death. So Rasamov met Haldin's sister Natalia, and they both fell in love with each other. Beyond the love, he also has a pity and also a guiltiness towards Natalia, because Rasamov feels that he is the cause for Natalia brother's death. So they both fell in love with each other. At the same time, Rasamov have pity for Natalia. The day is gone, and after a few days, he reveals he writes a letter for Russian government regarding the plans of revolutionaries against Russian government. And after writing the letter for Russian government, simultaneously he also write a letter for Natalia by revealing the truth that he is the cause for the Haldin's hangover. And also he reveals the same truth to the revolutionaries who is against Russian government. He also reveals to the revolutionaries that he is the reason for the death of Haldin. So after revealing this, Natalia is heartbroken and gone for somewhere. And after revealing truth to the revolutionaries, they beat Rasamov and broke the eardrums of him. And in the epilogue, Tekla takes care of the physically disabled Rasamov. This is how the novel ends, in a saddened tone. And the next one is significance of the title, almost in the concluding part. Here I have enlisted some points where we can see the association of two theories in this novel. The first one is human dignity and individualism. These two words represent the value of what you are. If we even if we take human dignity and also if we take individualism, both insist of the value, both insist of both insist that we have to be what we are. So if we see these two words in this novel, we can see many incidents representing these two words. For example, if we take the beginning of the novel, when Rasamov reluctantly agrees to help Haldin, he's stuck between two. One is to support Russian government, and the second one is to help Haldin as a human. But at last he proven that he is a human, and he helps Haldin to help a human who is stuck in a difficult situation. This is Rasamov's motive in that area. So he proves that he has human dignity, and he inclined to individualism. The second one is relocating authority from institution to individuals. If we take post-colonialism, we can see some authority will dominate the other. The colonized country will be dominated by the authority, whereas in transcendentalism we can also see that some kind of influencing factor will influence one's souls. So we can see that relocating of authority from institution to individuals in these both theories. But when we come to this novel, we can see that the character Rasamou in the entire novel will be oscillated in two different things. The one is as a citizen to the Russian government, and the other one is as a human, in a society. But beyond his mental conflicts, beyond his duty as a citizen to the Russian government, he always choose to be a human in all the four parts of this novel. Thus, the relocating authority from institution to individuals is proven by this character Rasamou. And the third one is individual conscience and morality. Conscience and morality is always equally proportional. For reference, Emerson's self-reliance, we will have a famous statement that mankind is morally good by nature. When the time passes, the mankind will be corrupted by many influences. But if we stuck to conscience, we will arrive at the moral ethics of life, or a good person with morals. So, in this novel, Rasamou, beyond sending the letter to the Russian government as a spy, he lends himself to the truth. At last, he reveals the truth. Beyond being a spy for Russian government, he doesn't want to reveal the truth, but at last he reveals it by his conscience, by his guiltiness. So this proves a morally rich human's conscience and morality in the character Rasamou. And the fourth one is transcendental nationalism in Rasamou. Transcendental nationalism is an emerging topic nowadays. It is nothing but a profound love towards country, with the belief of individualism, radical and revolutionary thoughts. This is what transcendentalism means. Transcendental nationalism means. In that character Rasamou, as I already told, he is a parentless child. So he loves his country as his home, and he loves Russian people as his family members. So in this character Rasamou, we can shape the transcendental nationalism in a perfect manner. And the fifth one is need of autocracy. Autocracy is a kind of government in which they will insist that the authority will be in the hands of single person. This is the structure of autocracy. So if we take this autocracy in theories, in the two theories, post-colonial and transcendental, we can see the impact. Impacts. If we take post-colonial, everyone seek to free thoughts. Everyone will struggle for the rights for their own freedom, for their own freedom. This also parallels autocracy. Whereas in transcendentalism, they also seek for the they also seek for their own freedom of their own soul. So the need of autocracy, which are present in these two theories, is also evident in this novel. If we take, this is a literary history fiction, right? So if we take this fiction novel, the revolutionaries will be more violent and bloody. They will perform bloody acts in this novel. But if we see their inner soul, it represents the profound equality of soul. They need freedom, they need free thoughts, they need their own soul to be equal with the other soul. So they need the autocracy. So the need of autocracy is also shown in this novel. That's it. This is how the association of these two theories happen in this novel under Western Wise by Joseph Conrad. That's it, sir. Hello? 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 Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir,
Is it
sir,
over? Your presentation
yes,
over?
yes, ma'am. The presentation is over.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Any question?
Hello?
May I request the audience to post your questions? Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
May I ask a question? Like, if you have taken, the Association of
yes, please, sir. Yes, please, sir.
Ma'am, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. You have chosen the topic like Association of Transcendentalism and Postcolonialism.
Yes, sir.
So, how do you merge both these titles? Like, both are actually two varied topics. I mean,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Transcendentalism and Postcolonialism are both varied topics. And how do you merge these two topics into a conclusion of yours?
Yes, sir. I merged these two different theories in the concept of freedom of a single soul, a space for a single soul. In this concept, I merged these two theories and also another thing, resistance and resisting authority. In general, in general, or in the individualistic way, everyone has an authority and be dominated by something. At some point, we will provide our own opposition to that authority. So, in this resisting authority and also in freedom for one's own soul, in these two concepts, these two theories, sir.
That's fine. Like what I was thinking was like you were merging this transcendentalism and postcolonialism, because postcolonialism is more about a social, orientation, social thought, social
Yes, sir.
expression. Yeah, but transcendentalism is more about the personal inspire,
Yes, sir.
more about
Yes, sir.
self-realization. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
maybe you have tried on these two concepts and come out with a wonderful solution. We're quite happy about your performance, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great
Thank you,
evening.
sir.
Yep, nice.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It was a good presentation. And you've spoke about theories, and you have spoke about how you are applied in the novel. But I would like to ask something. Do you find any solution for such things?
I find a solution in the way of correlating these two theories. I just focus on the individualistic perspective in both two theories, sir. If we take post-colonialism, everyone will have their own right for freedom. Everyone will have their own voice for free thoughts, sir. Whereas in transcendentalism, they will focus on their own soul's benefits, sir. They'll go like so. These two things, I think it makes the association, sir.
So you say that it goes hand in hand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Parallel, sir.
Your parallel thinking. Okay. See, later you have come to the solution. Okay, fine. And it was a good presentation. Thank you, and congratulations for your future endeavor. Thank you. And now we have the fourth participant of today.
Sir, is the
Nayana.
presentation is stopped sharing, sir?
Now it's not sharing. It's been shared.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. And thank you. And now we have, sir, and one more thing. Participants, do anyone have any questions, sir? Amal, sir? Dr. Amal, do you have any questions?
It's over. He asked question.
Okay, fine. Okay. We'll come ahead. Okay, thank you, ma'am. I congratulate all those three participants who have presented, presenters who have presented the paper, and thank you for inviting me for this conference. Thank you.